When you create an event in Calendly so that people can book a time to meet with you, there are a lot of options and it can be a bit confusing. Hi, I'm Anthony English and I'm going to show you through the various options that you've got for setting up a one-on-one event in Calendly. In the description of this video, you'll find timestamps to take you to the various parts of the video. And I've also included links to the Calendly help information, the help documentation, to show you how to do each of the different parts of the Calendly setup. We're going to create an event, so we'll just focus on the one-on-one event, which is, say somebody wants to meet you over Zoom or Microsoft Teams, then here's how they can do it. There are also group events that's allowing multiple people to meet you at one time. Maybe you're a teacher teaching a small class. Then you've got collective events. That might be a team meeting. We want to have the invitees pick a time when everybody's available. A round robin where it cycles between multiple people. So that might be a call center, for example, or a sales team, and somebody is going to get the next inquiry coming in. Okay, that's the round robin setup. You can also have one-off meetings. But let's just focus on the one-on-one meeting because there are a lot of options in Calendly and it can be a bit confusing. I'm going to show you through an existing meeting that I've got. All of these questions that you get asked, what event this is, when can people book it, how far in advance can they book it? So maybe some questions that you're going to ask the person who is booking the meeting with you. You might ask their name and email address, but you might ask other things like, hey, how many people are there in your team? Or what's your main interest in speaking to us? What's one problem that you're struggling with? So workflows are around automations such as text notifications and thank you emails. After somebody has made that booking with you, they'll get a notification. Maybe you'll send them a little intro video, or afterwards they'll get a thank you email for things for following up. There's some other ones like notifications and cancellation policy. Do you want to send a message to people if they drop out before the meeting? And so to the confirmation page, hey, once I've booked this event, Calendly is going to offer you the option to send them to maybe to a web page, or to sign up for a little preparation video or article, blog post or something like that. You can even collect payments on certain of the plans of Calendly. As you can see, creating these events, each of these has got its own set of options as well, such as the location. Is it going to be over Zoom? Is it going to be Teams? Is it going to be a physical place where you are going to connect with people? And then you can put in a description. So as you can see, there are a lot of options for each event. So what I've got here is a diagram showing you what all of those options are. Calendly, create event. So the event type, and what we're going to be asking here is, as you saw, is it a one-on-one event or a group event or the collective, which is we've got to make sure that everybody's available before we have this meeting, or the round robin one, like a call center situation. At the end of the video, I'll show you where you can get access to the mind map that I'm using in this video so that you can map out your own Calendly setup more easily. So the next option here is, what event is this? And what you're going to get asked, let me just go into this one here on the left. What event this is, you get to say, you have to say what the event name is, as you can see, the location, we saw that, and then the description or instructions. And so this is a way of telling people, hey, here's how we're going to meet. Prepare yourself this way. These would be some good things for you to include for your for the meeting to help you prepare. The event link itself, so that will have your Calendly account followed by a name that's going to be really helpful for you. Now, if it's a group event, you've got the option of asking how many invitees you're allowed in a spot. So, okay, we've got a group event. We're going to have several people are allowed to join, but we don't want to overbook, okay? And then another option there, just for group events, is to display the remaining spots available on the booking page. Now, and then of course you can have the event color if you want to get fancy with color coding, all of those things. So the next question you get asked is, when can people book this event? So here, when can they book it? And you've got three options here. One is the date range. Well, I'm going to allow them to book any time over the next 60 days in the calendar, or maybe just over business days. You could make it business days instead of calendar days. Or alternatively, you could say, hey, it's only going to be within this date range, okay? They've only got a limited time to book this book this event. Okay, we've got within a date range. Or no, I'm just going to make this permanently available. I'm going to make this event indefinitely into the future. Then we ask, well, how long is the event going to be? And that can be in minutes. And if you want to adjust it, you want to make it more than 1 hour long, then you can certainly do that. You can specify it in hours and minutes. Now, what about your availability? When can people book this event? So this is a nice, easy way of you saying, hey, I'm only available on these days of the week for this particular kind of events. So, for example, supposing you are a music teacher, you might say, I'm only available on these afternoons, and you specify what days you're available. You can set your default hours here, which is really what you're going to be doing for all of your events, or else you could make some special custom hours. Hey, this is only available just for these particular hours, and you've got a lot of flexibility here, and you can change that for each day. All right, and by the way, this display here on the right hand side is Mind Map, and I'm using MindNode, and I'll include a link to a series of apps that are available, and include an affiliate link if you want, which gives you access to MindNode and to a number of other apps that can help you in your business. Okay, so we're now down to invitee questions, and so that's the name, email address. We go over here, and you could just have an optional question here, like a free form one, or you could make it much more specific. You could have something like radio buttons, okay, and ask how many are in your team, okay, and then you can offer some answers there, 11 to 20, and you could add another option there. So you can see that those are very, very easy to do. Hit apply there. So, and you can have multiple questions there. You probably don't want to have too many questions. So the next one is workflows, which is really around automations. So that's around things like email and text notifications, or sending a thank you email, things like that. Here are some of the options that you've got. An email reminder to the invitee, and of course, if you want to do that, we want to reduce the people who are not showing up, reduce the no-shows. If you want to use that workflow, then you'll want to go in and edit the content of the emails, and then you've got an option here to edit the email, and that even allows you to remind them what the bonus is, what the benefit is of them turning up to your meeting. Other options is to send an email to the host, especially if that's not you, and that's the host is the person who's actually going to be running the meeting. And so if you've got a group of teachers, for example, you might want to send them a reminder once they've got a meeting booked or a class booked. You can send a thank you email straight after your meeting, and you can see that there are a whole lot of others. And so this saves you all of the work of thinking, well, I've got to be organized, I have to remember to send this message. You can send a text reminder, so as well as the email options, we've got the text options here. And if somebody cancels, then you can send a text to whoever the host is to say that. And as you can see, there are many other options, quite a few other workflows that you can use. Now, you don't have to use any of these workflows, but if you do, then it's a chance to remind people of the benefit of talking to you and to make sure that the meeting itself, that both you and the person at the other end are going to be very well prepared for it. You want to increase the chances that they're going to turn up on time. And it's just really a professional way of showing, hey, I've got a system, I've got a process in place. And to make it easy both for you and for your client. Let's go back to the event type here. Now the next one is notifications and cancellation policy. Okay, so that notification by default is going to go into your calendar if you're using Google, say Google Calendar, or Office 365, that's Microsoft 365 or Exchange for Outlook, things like that. And so those events will go into your calendar, but you can change that from being in the calendar to email confirmations. That's around notifications. That's around email follow-up. You can see just how easy it is. You can turn these on. Just toggle that on or off, and that reminder email, you can personalize that, or text reminders as well. Now, if you've got a cancellation policy that you need to charge people for booking a call if they cancel too late or something, then you can specify that here as well. Now we get to the confirmation page, and so this is when people do book that event. Then where do they get sent to? Well, they can go to a confirmation page itself within Calendly, or you can redirect them to an external site. Now that might be a YouTube channel, for example, or it might be to a webinar registration page, or it could be to a little welcome video. Hey, looking forward to catching up with you for our session. A lot of different things that you can do, and you can even pass on those events, even say to an email opt-in list. There's a lot of options here, okay? And you've even got the option for people to schedule another event with you after they've had that first one. And so collecting payments, you can do that. You can say, well, there's no payments for this event, but this is a simple way for you to sell a booking for people to book an event with you and pay upfront, either through Stripe or through PayPal. Now, one thing I haven't shown you is that there are routing forms which allow you to filter people and to get information for them up front, which will help you direct them to the right person. So, for example, they may be going to a sales team or to the customer success team, or you might be sending them to a training video or to a different event, depending on who they are, where they're from, and so on. Now, creating a routing form is very, very easy. So we'll create a routing form here, and all you need to do, you can even include a headline and a description, almost make it look like a landing page, which is really nice. But I won't do that at the moment. And you can just add a question. We already will have collected their name and email address, but you might be asking them something else. Like, for example, what size is your team? And you can put in 3 options there. Or else you could ask them about their experience with working on the kind of services that you are providing. And so we know that if they are fairly tech savvy, then we're going to send them to some more advanced training with things that they can work out for themselves. And so once you do that, you can then add a route, which simply says, okay, in that case, I'm going to send you to this kind of event, which is more for the advanced, the intermediate or advanced people. Or else you can send them once again to an external URL. That means external to Calendly, okay? So that really sending them to a link to a web page, or you could send a customized message to them, a bespoke message to them. So the routing forms really allow you to filter, to screen people before they even book the event with you, so that you and they are making the best use of the time available, so that you're speaking to the right people and they are speaking to the right people. Now, if you want to get this mind map, then it's available. You can use MindNode, which is the mind map tool that I'm using, and it really serves as a checklist here for you to create that Calendly event. And I'll give you instructions on how to import this mind map so that you can use that as your checklist for setting up Calendly events.